Someone somewhere is talking about you right now. Not behind your back. No, it's worse than that. It's a secret meeting. Hidden faces. Quiet laughs. And in the shadows, decisions are being made. Decisions about you. Decisions that could change everything. Imagine walking into your day, unaware, while others plot your life like a chessboard. Your name, your moves, your choices, they're dissected, critiqued, manipulated. And no one notices, but I did. And now you will. Picture this, a dimly lit room, the low hum of voices bouncing off cold walls. Papers shuffle, phones click. Someone leans back, smirks, thinking the world is theirs. But here's the twist. Someone overheard them. Someone recorded the whispers, and every secret, every plan, every crime they thought was invisible is now exposed. And guess what? The authorities are listening. They're watching. Every sly smile, every hidden agenda, every corner they thought was safe isn't. No, no, no. It's not just suspense. It's a wake-up call. A brutal, relentless wake-up call that the world doesn't pause for you. The world doesn't care about excuses, but you. Oh, you can turn this. You can take the fear they feed on and weaponize it. Now, listen closely, because this is where most people fail. Most people crumble. Most people look at chaos and shrink. But you're different. You felt the sting of betrayal, the weight of whispers in the dark. You know the taste of power slipping just out of reach. And in that moment of panic, when they think they have the upper hand, that's when you rise. It's almost poetic, isn't it? Their arrogance becomes your ladder. Their underestimation, your fuel. Every secret, every plotted move against you can become your advantage. You just have to see it, recognize it, own it. Think about the stakes. This isn't a game. Not for them, not for you. Every step you take, every word you speak, every choice you make is under a microscope. Sometimes, even when you're alone. But here's the thing. Fear can be transformed. Doubt can be twisted into clarity. Their crimes, their plots, their confidence, all of it can be a mirror, reflecting exactly who you need to be. And you will. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now, right now, as you listen, as you watch, as you awaken to the truth of what's happening. Nah, this isn't paranoia. This is reality. The cold, sharp, electric reality of life moving around you while you sleep. And so I ask you, what will you do? Stand frozen in the shadows, pretending you didn't hear the whispers? Or will you step into the fire, grab the chaos, and turn it into your own blueprint for dominance? Every second they think they're safe is a second you can strike. Every secret meeting, every hushed plan, every half-truth, it's all a map that leads directly to power, to awareness, to transformation. The irony is delicious. The very fear they plant in your mind can become the tool that reshapes your life. That's the point of today. That's the moment. That's your awakening. Now that you know, now that the whispers have been exposed, the lies unraveled, the crimes overheard, what do you do with it? Panic? Retreat? No, not you. You don't just survive in a world like this. You thrive. You take the chaos they create and bend it to your will. Every move they plotted in secret, Every strategy meant to trap you is now your blueprint. Every hidden conversation, every quiet laugh at your expense, it's all raw material for your awakening. Here's the truth most people refuse to see. Life is not fair. They know this. That's why they plot. That's why they scheme. That's why they believe they are untouchable. But here's your advantage. You've seen behind the curtain. You know the machinery. And machinery, no matter how complex, is predictable. No, no, no. Don't let them convince you otherwise. They might have plans, they might have allies, they might think they're safe. But knowledge is power. Awareness is leverage. And now you have both. Let's be clear. This isn't about revenge. Oh, it could be. But let's be smarter than that. This is about transformation. This is about using the fear they planted in you to ignite fire within. Every whispered insult, every secret meeting you weren't invited to, every scheme meant to disarm you can be flipped. You can turn vulnerability into strength, doubt into clarity, fear into precision. And once you master that, nothing can hold you back. Not them, not their lies, not their arrogance. The beauty of this moment is that it's fleeting. Every second they think they're hidden is a second you gain. You don't wait for permission. You don't hope for fairness. You act. You observe. You analyze. You anticipate. You strike with intention. Imagine the irony on their faces when the ones they underestimated, the ones they plotted against, become the ones holding the cards. That, my friend, is the art of awakening. That is power in its purest form. Now, let's talk about strategy, the subtle game of survival turned into dominance. Watch closely. Every conversation you overhear, every clue you catch, every subtle gesture you notice, log it, catalog it, use it. Don't react blindly. Don't chase emotion. They've already given you everything you need. All you have to do is see it, understand it, act. Timing is everything. Precision is everything. Calm is everything. Chaos is theirs. Control is yours. And the moment you internalize this, the moment you step out of fear and into action, everything changes. Remember this, the world is watching, always. But so are you. And that is the point. You can't afford to be passive. You can't afford to pretend nothing happened. Every secret, every plan, every crime overheard is not just evidence of their arrogance. It's your doorway, your moment, your chance to rise, sharpen, and redefine what they think they know about you. And when you do, oh, the shift is inevitable. The tables turn, the whispers stop, and the power is finally yours. Now the moment you've been waiting for, the whispers, the secret meetings, the crimes were overheard, all of it. It doesn't just end here. No, it transforms. Everything they thought they had hidden, everything they thought was untouchable, becomes your arena. The game isn't over. It's only the beginning. And here's the truth. They don't get a second chance. You do. This is where the real power lives. Not in anger, not in revenge, not in fear, but in awareness. You've seen the machinery. You've felt the tension. You've heard the plans. And now, you step forward with clarity, with precision, with intent. The irony is delicious. While they tremble in shadows, doubting who knows, who saw, who heard, you are already 3 steps ahead. already untangling the web they thought would trap you, already rewriting the story they thought was theirs to tell. The secret is simple. The moment you embrace the chaos, the moment you stop running from it, the moment you stop reacting and start orchestrating, that's when you become unstoppable. Not because the world bends for you, not because they fall. No, no, no. You are unstoppable because you see the patterns, you anticipate the moves, you are the calm in the storm. They created, and in that calm, in that mastery, lies your ultimate freedom. Here's the punch. Every challenge they throw, every scheme they craft, every plot they hide, they feed your growth, they sharpen your instincts, they ignite your focus, they force you to evolve. And if you step into this correctly, if you claim your space, if you wield your awareness, if you move with precision, you become the architect of the outcome. You control the narrative. You dictate the pace. You are no longer the player. You are the one setting the rules. Yes. The tables turn beautifully when you dare to see clearly. And so, listen closely. Your path forward is not about hiding. It's not about fear. It's about action, observation, strategy, awareness. Every whispered secret, every hidden crime, every secret meeting is not a threat. It's a roadmap that leads straight to your awakening, your growth, your ultimate ascent. And when you step into that path, when you embrace it fully, the world shifts, the shadows recede, and all that remains is you, strong, focused, unyielding, and finally, free. Now the real work begins, seeing the plot, understanding the lies. That was the easy part. The hard part? Turning that knowledge into action, turning fear into power, turning whispers into momentum. Every second they thought was safe is now your canvas. Every secret meeting, every hidden plan is no longer theirs. It's your opportunity to reshape the battlefield. Do you feel it? The tension in the air, the weight of the unknown pressing down on everyone else except you. That's your advantage. While they scramble in darkness, you walk in clarity. You know the patterns. You've traced the lines. You've anticipated the traps. Every choice you make now is deliberate. Every move calculated. Every reaction sharpened into precision. That's the edge. That's the power. Here's the truth. Most people never admit. The world doesn't hand out victories. It doesn't hand out justice. It hands out consequences. And those consequences, whether good or bad, always come to those who act. They never come to those who wait. And now, with every secret exposed, with every crime reported, with every truth revealed, the stage is yours. And you? You refuse to be passive. You refuse to be small. You refuse to let them define your outcome. No, no, no. Do not mistake this for chaos without purpose. Action without intent is wasted energy. Every move you make, every step you take must have precision. Observation first, strategy second, execution last. It's like a game they never knew you were playing, one you already mastered. And mastery comes from understanding both the threat and yourself. From turning every weakness they tried to exploit into a weapon, from transforming doubt into laser focus. And now you rise, not as someone reacting, not as someone fighting for scraps, but as someone who controls the board. Every secret meeting they hold, every conversation they think is private, becomes fuel. Every underestimation, every whispered plot becomes leverage. And with every move, every calculated strike, you step further into power, further into awareness, further into the version of yourself that no scheme, no trap, no secret can ever touch. And so I leave you here, standing at the edge of the storm they created, looking down at the chaos and realizing the truth. The storm isn't your enemy. It's your opportunity. Every plan, every crime, every exposed secret is a ladder. And when you climb it, you don't just rise. You dominate, you transform, you awaken, and nothing will ever be the same again. Embrace it, own it, become it. Now it all comes together. Every whisper you overheard, every secret meeting, every crime reported, every plan meant to trap you, it's all converged into this one moment. And here's the truth. No one gives you permission. No one hands you control. You take it. You seize it. And in that act, the world bends to your clarity. The chaos becomes your playground. The darkness becomes your ally. Do you feel it? The pulse in your chest. The electric awareness in your mind. That's power. That's focus. That's the edge they could never understand. While they plotted, while they whispered, while they underestimated, you observed, you calculated, you prepared. And now you step into the open, calm, precise, and the tables have turned. The story they wrote without you is no longer theirs. It is yours. The secret they thought they protected, exposed. The schemes they hid in shadow, transparent. The fear they planted in your path, now a tool. Every challenge, every obstacle, every hidden attack, you've transformed into leverage, into fuel, into the fire that drives you forward. No. Don't let hesitation creep in. Don't let doubt linger. Every second you wait is a second they regain control. Step, move, execute, dominate. This is the moment of awakening. The irony is delicious. They built their power thinking you were weak, thinking you wouldn't notice, thinking you wouldn't respond. But you did. You do. And now, with every secret in the open, with every plan unraveled, you hold the upper hand. Awareness is your weapon, strategy is your armor, action is your signature. And in this space, in this perfect storm, you define the rules. You decide the outcome. And here's the final truth. The world will always whisper. There will always be secrets. There will always be those who plot, who hide, who believe they can manipulate. But you are beyond that. You see it. You understand it. You transform it. And nothing, not schemes, not lies, not shadows, can ever control you again. The storm they created, you own it now. Every second, every move, every breath. And with that ownership comes power. Pure, unshakable, undeniable power. So rise. Step into the chaos. Command it. Let every secret, every plan, Every crime you've witnessed become your ladder, become your strategy, become your awakening. Because when you do, nothing in their world will ever be the same again. And you will be unstoppable. You're watching this because something already happened, and you felt it before anyone said it out loud. Not on a screen, not in a comment, but in rooms you were never invited into, where your name was spoken like a conclusion instead of a question. Everyone we asked called you the best. They said it calmly, confidently, as if the story was already finished. And now those same people are sitting still, staring at nothing, because the sources they trusted are laughing at them. Not laughing with confidence, laughing with nerves, laughing because certainty just slipped through their fingers. That moment right there, when praise turns quiet and quiet turns heavy, that's not applause you're feeling, that's tension settling in. Let's be clear about something they won't admit. They didn't believe in you because of your depth, your discipline, or your patience. They believed in you because attaching your name to their opinions made them feel sharp, safe, ahead of the curve. You looked good. Look, a smart prediction, a controlled recommendation. They liked you when your potential stayed theoretical, when it sounded impressive but didn't disturb their position. But the moment progress stopped being an idea and started being visible, everything shifted. Your growth stepped out of discussion and into reality, and suddenly the room felt smaller. No. This is where admiration gets uncomfortable, because control is slipping and nobody knows how to hide it gracefully. Watch closely how fast the tone changes when comfort disappears. Yesterday it was praise, smooth and confident. Today it's hesitation dressed up as wisdom. Same voices, same faces, but the energy is different. Because calling someone the best is easy when it doesn't demand accountability. It's flattering when it stays distant. But when results start backing the words, when silence becomes louder than analysis, suddenly the label feels risky. They wanted a story they could repeat, not a presence that forces recalculation. Funny how quickly certainty becomes humor when it no longer feels safe to stand behind. Here's the truth. Sitting under all that laughter, being right early, is how some people define themselves. It's their identity, their leverage, their power. And the moment you stop being a prediction and start being a reality, their role changes. They're no longer the authority who spotted potential. They're just observers, witnesses. And that shift feels like loss. So they laugh, they downplay, they pretend they always knew it wouldn't go this far. Oh, you can feel it now, can't you? This has nothing to do with your worth and everything to do with their fear of becoming irrelevant in their own narrative. Don't confuse laughter with dismissal. That sound isn't confidence, it's defense. People joke when they don't know where to stand anymore. They minimize when they feel exposed. They smile when their predictions collapse, and they need an exit that doesn't bruise their pride. And you don't need to react to any of it. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to correct the record. The moment you argue with doubt, you give it space it doesn't deserve. Let them laugh, let them adjust their tone, let them rewrite their stories while pretending it was all part of the plan. Your movement doesn't require permission. Understand what this moment really is. This isn't praise and it isn't rejection. It's confirmation that you crossed an invisible line most people never reach. The line between being talked about and being accounted for. Between being an idea people enjoy discussing and a factor they have to deal with. They called you the best when it felt comfortable. Now their sources are laughing because saying it out loud demands courage they don't have. Good. That means the applause phase is over and the pressure phase has begun. And pressure doesn't lie. Pressure exposes who was pretending to understand you and who was never prepared for what you were actually becoming. This is the phase nobody applauds. The stretch where attention thins out and opinions stop feeling useful. The guidance that once flowed freely becomes observation from a distance, and you start noticing it in small ways. Conversations shorten. Advice loses detail. Encouragement comes with conditions. It's because you're no longer a topic, you're a comparison, and comparison makes people uneasy when it points upward. That quiet separation you're sensing isn't rejection, it's space being created on purpose so they don't have to sit with what your consistency is revealing. People love celebrating effort when it feels safe. They praise attempts, they highlight potential, they admire ambition from afar. But commitment that doesn't need supervision unsettles them. Progress that keeps moving without permission disrupts comfort. You stayed disciplined when nobody was watching, refined when others announced, chose patience instead of performance. Now your presence speaks before your voice ever does. No. That's the moment the atmosphere changes, because results delivered quietly carry more weight than speeches delivered loudly. Sooner or later, the word lucky enters the conversation. Not because they believe it, but because it softens reality. Luck is easier to accept than discipline. Timing sounds better than accountability. Your progress gets reduced to moments instead of patterns, outcomes instead of repetition. The early mornings, the restraint, the consistency get edited out of the story. Notice how quickly effort disappears once success starts making people uncomfortable. It isn't cruelty, it's self-preservation. This is also where danger becomes subtle. Doubt doesn't arrive shouting, it whispers. It asks reasonable questions, suggests small delays, recommends slowing down just to think. It borrows your own voice and tries to sound wise. That quiet hesitation isn't intuition, it's outside pressure trying to move inside. Borrowed uncertainty dressed up as reflection, hoping you'll negotiate with standards that once felt non-negotiable. You don't need to harden yourself or perform toughness. You don't need to prove strength through resistance. What you need is clarity. Clarity about why you started when nobody noticed. Clarity about what you're building when few understand. Momentum doesn't ask for approval. It responds to direction. Chasing validation here only blurs your focus because approval arrives late and disappears early, while discipline stays when attention fades. You'll notice fewer questions now. Not because curiosity vanished, but because answers no longer serve them. Your process doesn't fit shortcuts. Your patience doesn't match urgency. Instead of adjusting themselves, they step back. Distance becomes the easier option. Let it happen. Let the circle tighten. Let the noise thin out. What remains is focus, and focus restores control over pace. This is where alignment replaces popularity. You're not here to prove anyone wrong. That's a distraction. Wearing the mask of motivation. You're here to become undeniable through repetition, through showing up the same way on quiet days as visible ones, through choosing consistency when reaction would feel more satisfying. The real shift doesn't happen when opinions change. It happens when those opinions stop influencing your rhythm. Freedom always feels heavy before it feels calm. So if pressure is building, good. If eyes feel fixed on you, good. If misunderstanding follows you, even better. These sensations aren't warnings, There's signals that you're operating beyond shared comfort. You're moving at a pace no longer designed to keep others relaxed. No, no, no. This isn't the moment to slow down. It's the moment to simplify, to cut distraction, sharpen focus, and let time handle explanations. Eventually, the laughter fades, not replaced by applause, but by silence. A different silence, where commentary stops and measurement begins, where your name isn't debated, it's observed. And by then, agreement won't matter anymore. You'll be too far into your own momentum to look back. Stay steady. This phase passes, but what it builds stays. Now comes the turning point. The moment where everything they assumed about you begins to crack, and it isn't subtle. The whispers, the sideways glances, the small smirks, they start to multiply. Not because you changed, but because their world shifted. That tension in the air, that's opportunity. Pressure and discomfort are the mirrors showing you exactly where others feared to follow. And you've been moving quietly in the shadows while the noise built up around you. Now the shadows are becoming your stage. They will try to rewrite history. They'll reframe the narrative, turning your consistency into coincidence and your discipline into luck. It was bound to happen, they'll say. Everyone knew it wouldn't last. They need stories that make them feel safe. They need explanations that preserve their own ego. But you don't need to argue. No, no, no. You've already moved past their storytelling. You exist in results, in output, in presence that doesn't require permission. And the more they spin, the clearer it becomes. Your path is not theirs to define. This is the stage where you realize the real power isn't in the applause or recognition, it's in control. In showing up, day after day, when nobody's watching, when nobody expects it. Momentum doesn't bend for opinion. Progress doesn't negotiate with doubt. It doesn't care about timelines, predictions, or who gets to claim credit. It just moves. And you've learned to move with it, without chasing validation, without waiting for signals from those who only noticed when it was convenient. Expect resistance? Yes. Expect doubt, both from outside and creeping within. But that doubt is a test, not a verdict. It's the internal and external pressure that measures whether you are committed to the path you chose. Each hesitation they voice, each laugh they hide behind, each attempt to downplay your movement, these are checkpoints. Signals that you are doing exactly what they never dared to. Feel it. Let it sharpen your focus. Let it remind you that clarity outweighs opinion, always. And here's the truth. The moment you stop bending to the expectations of those around you, that's when growth becomes unstoppable. Not the kind that demands attention or approval, but the kind that shapes outcomes silently, profoundly, irreversibly. The people who laughed, the sources that doubted, they are now witnesses to something bigger than any judgment. And the satisfaction doesn't come from proving them wrong. It comes from knowing you moved with purpose while they stayed entangled in pretense. At this point, momentum takes a life of its own. The seeds you planted quietly, the choices made when no one was watching, start to bear fruit. It isn't dramatic, it isn't immediate, but it is relentless. And the irony? Those who once called you the best only realize later that they underestimated not your talent, but your persistence. The quiet ones always catch up. The focused ones always advance. And by the time the noise settles, you will be exactly where you promised yourself you'd be. So embrace this phase, lean into it, Let the laughter fuel your discipline, the doubt refine your focus, and the silence amplify your strategy. This is where legends unseen, unheralded, misunderstood begin to rise. The stage isn't public yet, but it will be. And when it is, you'll already be too far ahead to notice the echoes of those who tried to define you. Yes, this is your moment. The one that proves what they couldn't even admit. The story isn't theirs, it's yours. And it always was. By now, the room is changed completely. What once felt crowded with opinions is now sparse with observers. The voices that once praised or doubted are quiet, not because they've disappeared, but because your movement no longer fits into their understanding. Silence like this isn't emptiness. It's recognition without acknowledgement. It's the space where results breathe and noise dies. This is the arena where only action speaks, and only consistency earns notice. The pressure doesn't stop. It evolves. It shifts from outside forces to the inside. Expectations turn inward. Every choice, every hesitation, every decision becomes amplified in your mind. And here's the beautiful part. When the external applause fades, internal clarity grows louder. No. Don't chase approval. Don't cling to the echoes of past praise. The only authority that matters now is the one you carry within yourself. Momentum isn't fueled by recognition. It's fueled by intention. People will start to notice, slowly, without realizing it. Not in headlines, not in messages, not in casual commentary. They'll notice in the way doors open, the way opportunities appear, the way your rhythm reshapes environments. Ironic, isn't it? They laughed at first, and now the very same movement they dismissed starts making them adjust. They were entertained by the idea of you, but they're forced to contend with your reality. And the reality is simple. Preparation beats prediction. Discipline beats doubt. Action beats opinion. But don't let this moment make you arrogant. Visibility is not mastery. Recognition is not momentum. What you've built isn't a finish line, it's a foundation. Each step from here is heavier because the stakes rise with the silence of those watching. Every decision counts more because inconsistency now echoes longer than applause ever did. That weight. That's the part most people avoid. But it's also the part that turns potential into legacy. Focus becomes sharper. Distraction becomes weaker. The world keeps trying to catch up, and your challenge is to stay ahead without being distracted by the chase. Let them talk. Let them measure. Let them theorize. Your real progress lives in the hours, the effort, the repetition they cannot see. No. Don't confuse impatience for momentum. Momentum is invisible until it's undeniable. It's silent until it forces recognition. And here's the crucial truth. By the time they fully understand, it will be too late. Too late to claim influence. Too late to question your path. Too late to laugh. Because you've built a rhythm they can't stop. A focus they can't distract. A force that no longer requires validation. The irony is delicious. The same sources that mocked, doubted, or measured you now have to reconcile with the fact that you were moving when they were standing still. So embrace the weight, the silence, the scrutiny. Let it refine you. Let it sharpen your decisions, strengthen your patience, and deepen your understanding of what's possible when no one is watching. This phase is the proving ground. Not for recognition, not for applause, but for endurance, for persistence, for the relentless motion that transforms noise into legacy. Oh, this is where the quiet victories are won, and the future finally notices who you've become.